My name is Kapalu, the producer. Thank you very much for joining me in this series on how to mix a Rhumba song. We've looked at the number of things that you need to do as a music producer and as a sound engineer, audio mixing engineer, before you start doing your mixing. So today, it's just a continuation on the last topic where we ended. We were doing our static mix to the song that we are mixing together. Okay, so this song was done by Jose Gola. He's an upcoming gospel Rhumba, artist in Zambia. So it's the best example that I chose to really be a blessing to the upcoming producers and music lovers. If you really want to understand Rhumba music, this is the best channel for you to subscribe to and just be part of the family. All right, so yeah, this is the song that we were working on last time. Okay. Okay, so in this song, it's just a static mix, no EQ, no compression whatsoever. We just concentrating on two major things. That is the levels and panning. All right, so last time I told you that a static mix is a process of balancing all your audio tracks in a session. All right, this is achieved through two major things. That is your volume and panning adjustments. All right, that is before applying any compression, any processing to your session. Remember last time I taught you that a static mix is a process of balancing all audio tracks in your session. Okay, so that can only be achieved through volume and panning. Okay, so volume meaning these your faders. Okay, through volume, all right, and panning. All right, panning. So that's why we ended up with a good static mix. Okay, so I also told you that a static mix provides a clear starting point, all right, for the mixing process. All right, it really helps you in making informed decisions about EQ and compression. All right, so today I talk about two very important elements when you're doing a static mix. That is your levels and panning. So when we talk about levels, we're talking about the faders. Okay, these are your levels. If you have a mixer, these are your levels. And also there are other mixers. You have a gain. Okay, a gain is also an amplitude. Okay, because it helps you to open up the preamp for the mixer, the channel strip. So levels are very important in mixing. So today I just wanted you to understand, because I'm doing this, I want you to have the same language that I have. I want you to understand. So when I say level, I want you to know what levels are. When I say panning, I want you to understand what panning is, and what is a level. All right. So I'll take you, step by step, so that you really understand. So now in audio mixing, all right, levels. These levels, okay, refers to the volume, okay, as I said earlier, or amplitude of individual tracks. All right. So when I say levels, okay, when I say levels, so simply what I'm saying is volume or amplitude, okay. So when I say level, okay, what I'm simply saying is volume. All right, volume of individual tracks. All right, so now the job of levels is to control how loud or soft a sound is, okay, in your session. All right, so levels, they control how loud or soft, okay, a sound is, in your mixing session. So for example, so the example is, if I can't hear the lead guitar and I want to bring up the lead guitar. So what do I do? I need to raise the level until I place it in the right spot, in the sweet spot, where I'm able to hear the rhythm guitars and I'm able to hear the lead guitar. So that's what I mean by saying levels. They control how loud or soft a sound is. They push a sound to be in front of you, or they also push a sound to be far from you. Okay, so that's the purpose of levels. All right. Okay, so let's drop it a bit. I think the lead guitar was a bit loud. Okay, so if you want more of a snare, you bring up the level. Okay, so that's what I mean. Okay, then the next thing is panning. Okay, what is panning? So this panning is left and right. Okay, that's what I mean by panning, left and right. So you can either push a sound signal to your left or to your right. Okay, so panning determines the left and right placement of tracks. If you want to open up your song, panning is the best technique that you use. Okay, so for example, okay, so I have two rhythm guitars. So instead of me putting the two rhythm guitars on the middle, it means they'll start colliding against one another. And even hearing them in the mix to be very difficult because they are all coming, at the same point. So what do I do as the audio engineer? You have to pan them left and right. Okay, so that they are audible, so that you're able to hear. I'm able to hear both of my rhythm guitars. So that's what I mean by panning determines the left and right placement of tracks. All right. Panning is very important because it controls where your audio track, where it will appear, to be coming from in the stereo image. Okay, so that is where panning comes in. So for example, when you're recording drums, you have 3 toms. Okay, so you, like I showed you last time, my rack tom, you pan it a bit to your left, mid to your right, and your floor tom maybe hard right, or maybe somewhere on the middle, so that it's easy for a listener to hear every sound in a mix. Okay, so panning is very important, very, very important. Okay, so panning is important in a mix because number one, it allows the sound to be positioned in a stereo field. Okay, you can't hear something, or for example, maybe you have the 2 keyboards, you have your keyboards and marimbas. You can still pan, you are placing them in their stereo field. Panning is important. Also, it creates a sense of space, depth, and separation, all right, between different instruments or sound in a mix. Okay, so that's the importance of panning. All right. So as you can see, the guitars are panned, the toms, they are panned left, right, yeah. So for the keyboard, it was played in stereo, so already it's also on our sides. Okay, so if you look at the leading vocal, the voiceover, it's pitch panned to the left, so that I need to respect the main vocal, in the middle. I need to respect the snare in the middle. I need to respect the lead guitar in the middle. I need to respect the bass and kicks on the middle. That's why, certain sounds, instead of you putting everything on the middle, your mixing really, it won't sound good at all. So panning is very important because it creates width, it creates depth, and prevents frequency masking, by placing sound in different parts of the stereo field. All right, so levels and panning are fundamental mixing techniques that allows you to sculpt the stereo image and create a balanced, dynamic, and engaging mix. All right, so you need to be very, you need to be very sensitive and you need to be very careful. These are simple basics that I'm teaching you, but very, very, very important when you are mixing. So you need to understand panning, you need to understand levels. So the song that is playing, static mix, we never did anything. There's no compression, there's no EQ. We are just using levels and panning. Okay, it sounds a song already, it sounds complete already. We've not added reverbs, we've not added delays, we've not added any exciters, we've not added any distortions and all that. The song sounds beautiful already. Okay, why? Because we were playing around with our levels, that is bringing sounds in front of us and taking other sounds backwards, and also because of panning, placing different sounds on their space. You get my point. So that is very important. You need to understand that, as you are mixing, you're also creating with it. You need to create depth and by using levels and panning. Okay, so that's very important. So I thought of sharing this with you today so that you understand the importance of levels and also the importance of panning. All right, so panning determines the left and right placement of your tracks in your mixing sessions. Then levels controls how loud or soft a sound is, and determines how loud or soft a sound is in your mix. And so you see my lead guitars, they are panned left and right. Then my mi solo at the end, I think we'll push it a little bit to the right, just a bit, maybe about 20-25, so that it doesn't fight with our lead guitar. So if we come here at the end, come on, my brother. So if I bring it, I've brought it on the middle. If it's colliding, I push it back. This is the one that we distorted in the studio. And it was amazing the way I distorted this Misoro. I think I remember, after recording, I pushed in a chorus effect and a little bit of flange, and also a distortion, plugin. Then bounce it back again into the project. Yeah, you hear that? So the lead guitar is respected. It's automatically, in the center of the mix. All right. So this is getting deeper and deeper. We are going to add bongos together. By the time we are about to finish, we'll do the bongos, we'll do the shakers, the percussions, so that I also show you how you place the percussions in your mixes. All right, so thank you very much for joining me today. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like the video, share the channel to other upcoming producers, so that we grow this family together. All right, and turn on your notification bell so that you don't miss out on the new uploads that we'll be doing. All right, so today I thought of teaching you on the importance of levels and panning. All right, so just a recap, I said in audio mixing, levels are very important. Okay, so when I say levels, I say volume. I also mean it's the same like I'm saying volume, okay, of individual tracks. All right, so I said panning determines the left and right placement of tracks, while levels control how loud or soft a sound is in your mix. Okay, so the importance of levels, I said, allows you to create a balanced mix where no single element overpowers or is lost in the mix, so that you're able to hear. If you can't get the guitar, you push the levels a little bit up, by increasing the volume on it. Okay, so and also I said the importance of panning. Number one, it allows the sound to be positioned in the stereo field. So in the next videos, the future videos, I'm also going to teach you on the stereo fields. You need to also understand the 3 dimension of mixing. All right. And also panning, I said it creates a sense of space, depth, and separation, okay, between different instruments or sound in a mix, so it brings about separation. So I want to say thank you very much for joining me today. Appreciate. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like the videos, and share the channel, and also push in a comment in the comment section, so that music is about teaching one another. There's no master in music. We grow every day. So I'm pouring out my heart. What has worked for me, I know it will also work out for you. So please, in the comments below, send your messages, so that I also know how to the topics that I need to touch, in this journey of music. So thank you very much. I appreciate your time, and we'll see you in the next video. Hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on the new uploads that I'll make. All right, this is Kapalo, the producer, signing out. Thank you very much. Thank you.